The sky over the Korean peninsula is restless on the 18th of November, 1952. High above the mountains, 4 American jet fighters slice through thin cloud, their engines pushing them north toward a target uncomfortably close to the Soviet border. These are F9F Panthers, carrier-based jets designed for ground attack and fleet defense, and they carry with them the quiet tension of a war already thick with political danger. Leading one section of the formation is Lieutenant Elmer Royce Williams. He is an experienced naval aviator, steady and alert, listening to the constant murmur of the radio. Then the tone changes. A call crackles through the headset from the American strike force. "We have 7. Repeat, 7 bogies incoming. Protect the fleet at all costs." Williams answers without hesitation. "Copy." To the north, across an invisible line that exists more on maps than in the sky, radar operators at a Soviet base near Vladivostok see the same picture forming. American aircraft are moving north, closer than they should ever come. The message is relayed quickly to the pilots on alert. Americans are heading north. Do not let them anywhere near Vladivostok. Captain Nikolai Belyakov acknowledges the order and turns his aircraft toward the threat. He and his men fly MiG-15s fighters, machines that dominate the skies of the Korean War. Fast, powerful, and armed with heavy cannons, they are built to destroy bombers and win air superiority. The Soviets are officially not at war here, but their presence is no secret to those who fight in the air. Both groups turn toward one another, closing distance at hundreds of miles per hour. Williams' section bursts through cloud cover at around 12,000 feet. Almost immediately, another radio call breaks in. His flight leader reports terminal engine trouble and announces a return to the carrier. His wingman follows. "I'll take it from here," Williams replies. In seconds, the formation is gone. Williams looks up and sees thin white lines etched across the sky. 7 contrails. Only one American Panther remains with him now, Lieutenant Dave Rowlands. Together, the two men believe they are facing 7 North Korean jets. They are wrong, but the reality is no less dangerous. They are the last line between the approaching fighters and the American fleet below. Belyakov orders his pilots to split into 2 groups and dive. The MiGs roll and disappear as their contrails dissolve into the thin air. Williams and Rowlands climb to 26,000 feet, scanning desperately. The sky seems empty. Then the Panther shudders. Impacts rattle across Williams' fuselage. Tracers flash past his canopy, so close he can almost feel the heat. "They're coming from the right." The Americans brake hard, rolling and turning as a MiG screams past. Another follows immediately, its cannons tearing at the airframe. Metal clacks and bangs echo through the cockpit. The Panthers are sturdy and maneuverable, but they are outclassed here. The MiGs climb faster, dive harder, and carry weapons meant to tear aircraft apart in a single pass. A third MiG attacks, then a fourth, firing 23 and 37 millimeter shells. Williams and Rowlands turn left just in time, and the attacker flashes past. In that brief window, Williams slides in behind the MiG, centers it in his gun sight, and squeezes the trigger. Inside the Soviet cockpit, Senior Lieutenant Pokomkin hears alarms scream to life. His aircraft shudders, smoke trailing behind him. "I've been hit!" He dives away, desperate to escape. Rowlands sees the opening and plunges after him, leaving Williams suddenly alone again. As the remaining MiGs pull away, Williams notices something that sends a chill through him. The wings are not marked with North Korean insignia. There are no colored circles, only red stars. "Cap control," he calls. "These MiGs are Soviets." At nearly the same moment, American intelligence intercepts Soviet transmissions. The warning is urgent and blunt. "Do not engage. This could start World War III. Williams's reply is immediate and grim. "I'm already engaged." The MiGs climb almost vertically, then roll and dive back in. They are faster, higher, and now fully committed. Williams has no choice but to meet them head-on. Belyakov leads the attack. 3 MiGs roar past Williams' Panther, firing as they go. Somehow, neither side scores a hit. Williams tries to climb for altitude, but tracers suddenly streak in from the opposite direction. The second group is back. 6 MiGs now swarm a single American fighter. Williams rolls, dives, and twists, enemy aircraft flashing by at terrifyingly close distances. The attacks come without pause. Then, 4 MiGs pass in formation, and Williams finds himself behind them. One Soviet pilot glances back and feels dread tighten his chest. The Panther is there, closing. Training takes over. He pulls sharply toward the sun, using the glare as cover. The rest of the flight breaks away. Williams follows and is instantly blinded. He cannot aim. He abandons the chase, turning away from the sun and straight into danger. 2 MiGs are coming directly at him. There is no room to evade. Williams points his nose at them and opens fire, challenging another head-on duel. The lead MiG turns away, but the wingman presses forward. Senior Lieutenant Alexander Vandayev accepts the fight. Tracers stream from both aircraft, crossing like fiery threads in the air. The Soviet shells pass just beneath Williams' Panther. His own rounds appear to fall short. Both pilots hold their triggers down, closing at impossible speed. A single 20mm shell finds its mark. It tears into the MiG's cockpit, killing Vandayev instantly. The fighter flips inverted and drops away, silent. Another MiG flashes past. On instinct alone, Williams fires again. The enemy aircraft erupts and falls, his third victory in minutes. Belyakov sees his formation disintegrating. His wingman is gone. 2 more aircraft are lost. He turns back, determined to strike the American down. Williams sees him coming and turns to meet him. The exchange is brief and violent. Chunks fly off the MiG as the 2 jets pass. Belyakov dives away, his aircraft damaged, leaving the fight. Williams turns to pursue, but suddenly his Panther lurches. A MiG has slipped in behind him. Shells slam into the aircraft. Then a heavy blow rocks the wing. A 37mm round punches through the structure and into the engine compartment. Hydraulics fail instantly. The rudder is gone. The flaps are useless. Half the ailerons no longer respond. The Panther becomes sluggish, unstable, barely obedient. Williams tries to roll and feels the aircraft answer with terrifying slowness. The MiG stays with him easily, firing again and again. Any hit could be fatal. He still has his elevator. It is the last control he can trust. Williams pulls up, then pushes down, riding the aircraft in a wave-like motion, trying to open distance and reach the clouds 10,000 feet below. The fuselage continues to take hits. Time is running out. Then a voice breaks through the chaos. "Cap! On your left!" Rowlands dives in, guns blazing. The remaining MiG breaks off, escaping, but the chase is over. Williams slips into the cloud layer and levels off at just 400 feet above the sea. The dogfight has lasted more than half an hour. 1 American Panther has faced 7 Soviet MiGs and survived. Now comes the next problem. The aircraft is barely flyable. Williams tests the controls and discovers he cannot slow below 170 knots without losing control. That speed is dangerously high for a carrier landing. Ejection is not an option. The water below is frigid. Survival time would be measured in minutes, not enough for rescue. He calls it in. Coming in for a landing. Maneuverability severely compromised. Minimum speed 170 knots. On the deck of the aircraft carrier Oriskany, Captain Courtney Shands orders preparations for a crash landing. 170 knots is fast, but a storm rages around the ship. Strong winds offer a chance. Shands turns the carrier directly into the wind and orders maximum speed, squeezing every advantage from physics and seamanship. In the cockpit, Williams feels every control input lag and float. He spots the carrier and lowers the landing gear. The added drag pulls the Panther off course immediately. "I'm going to miss it." Shands watches through binoculars. The alignment is wrong. A go-around would be fatal. There is only one option. "Tell him to keep going. Heading 196, now." The carrier begins to turn beneath the approaching jet. Williams commits. The deck is still moving. 500 yards, 250, 150. The Panther slams down at nearly 200 miles per hour. The third arresting cable catches. The aircraft jerks to a violent stop. Williams is alive. The Panther is found to have taken 263 holes. Wing damage is so severe it is astonishing the aircraft held together at all. What follows is silence. To prevent escalation between nuclear powers, the incident is buried. Gun camera footage is edited. Soviet markings are removed. Transcripts replace Soviet with enemy. Diplomatic protests are exchanged quietly. The world never hears the story. Williams receives the Silver Star. He continues his career and retires decades later, never speaking of the fight. Only after documents are declassified does the full story emerge. Russian records later acknowledge aircraft losses. American recognition is upgraded to the Navy Cross. Royce Williams lives to see his story finally told, a century-old witness to one of the most extraordinary and dangerous air battles of the jet age, a moment when skill, resolve, and sheer endurance held the line between war and something far worse.